Are these the most scientifically accurate experiments? Maybe not. Do we care? Not really. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 fun facts we learned from Netflix's 100 Humans. For this list, we're looking at the most interesting things that were discovered on this Netflix show. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below.
And it kills me so. I took so long, I'll never turn my back on you.
Number 10. The correct way to use toilet paper. This is probably a hotly debated topic in every household. Is there a right and wrong way to put on a toilet paper roll?
Comfortable?
Absolutely.
So you don't have to take your pants down or anything, but we do want you to show us your own personal toilet technique.
Local mothers everywhere probably appreciate anyone changing it at all, but many people feel strongly about whether it should be put in the over or under position. 100 Humans found that the participants overwhelmingly preferred placing it over, with 80% of them doing it that way. 10% did the opposite, and the last 10% stated that they didn't care one way or the other.
You want to snag, you don't want to drag. I don't trust anybody that drags.
Feel free to debate this one in the comments.
I don't care. My wife cares, so that's why I do it that way.
Number 9. When people are happiest. The show's second episode focused on age and put different age groups against one another to see how they fared in a cooperative experiment.
Do older people have more patience to solve problems because their brains haven't turned to shrapnel from using Snapchat?
The group that did the best was in their 60s, and the ones who came in second were in their 20s.
There's no fear in this group. We have confidence. No slapping, no biting. You know, when you get to this point in life, life is great.
When speaking to an expert on the subject, they found that, in fact, this mirrors the curve of happiness at different stages in life as well.
It's a U-shaped curve. People are happier in their 20s. It begins to decline in their 30s, 40s, reaches the bottom at my age.
People are happy in their 20s when they're young and optimistic, then there's a lull for the next 3 decades, and then they become happy again in their 60s.
Can we wave a white flag and go home?
Number 8. Women are more punctual. This one may come as a surprise, but 100 Humans discovered that when it came to getting somewhere on time, men actually took longer than women did to get ready to go.
Is that a stereotype?
Yeah.
I thought it was a fact.
To test this, the participants were told that they had to be on a bus in 10 minutes. Then they were given a series of distractions, including snacks to choose and a complicated menu to order lunch from.
Wow, look, a snack station, like moths to a flame.
In the end, more women ended up making it on time than men. Does this simulate the typical getting ready experience for everyone? Maybe not, but interesting nonetheless.
Women are socialized into being more people-pleasing, to being more rule-following.
Number 7. People don't like being asked to be happy.
America is obsessed with being happy. After all, the pursuit of happiness is written into our Constitution.
You know when an entertainer asks the crowd if they're ready to have a good time and then asks over and over again until they get the reaction they want?
Are you ready to have a good time?
I'm just not sure if you have heard us.
That was essentially the basis of this experiment. At the beginning of episode 6, which was all about happiness, the 100 Humans were asked if they were ready to have some fun. People responded enthusiastically, but when the prompts persisted, they understandably grew weary of it.
I just can't hear you, and I'm just wondering if you guys are ready right now to have like a really, 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 really good day.
After 21 minutes, people were sitting down on the ground and looking much more depressed than happy. Number 6. Positive reinforcement works.
Yeah, I never thought about plate spinning before, but I'll just have fun with it. I'll just have a good time.
In episode 5, Pain versus Pleasure, a series of experiments was done to see whether the 100 Humans responded better to positive or negative reinforcement.
We're gonna do the same thing, but this time the fastest row will win nothing, and the losing row will be tortured.
In this particular instance, they were taught how to do plate spinning, and then were given either praise or criticism depending on their performance.
It was a pretty lazy performance, right?
Lazy?
It was pretty lazy, because you did it, but where's the flair?
The ones who were given compliments and told how well they were doing ended up doing even better in the second round. This proves that offering up positive comments rather than critiquing someone is a great way to ensure that they continue to improve.
When you're praised, you feel a little bit more control.
Number 5. Good dancers don't have a higher sperm count. We're not sure if this is a common theory that we had just never heard before, but in the show's very first episode, they decided to test whether good dancers were more virile.
Will we prove once and for all that a man's skill on the dance floor is the sign of how quickly he could knock up a woman?
They concealed the men's identities and had them dance for the rest of the group, with everyone else voting on how well they performed.
I used to be in a dance crew. I'm really passionate about it.
They tested their semen for sperm count and compared the numbers. They found that, in fact, how well someone danced was completely unrelated to how much sperm they were packing.
Now, if you look at the rest of the scores, there's no correlation between the dance scores and the sperm count.
Good to know next time you're in the club, we guess? Number 4, we judge people based on their looks.
Can being pretty keep you out of jail?
No doubt.
In this episode 1 experiment, the participants were given photos of alleged criminals along with information on the crimes they committed. The catch was that one group was shown a photo of an objectively attractive person, and the other group was shown a photo of someone who was less good looking.
Remember, both groups are hearing details of the exact same crime, but each group is seeing an entirely different mugshot.
Overwhelmingly, the 100 humans voted to give shorter sentences to the attractive people, often expressing sympathy for them or justifying the crimes that they'd supposedly committed.
I think that you should know better. It's not an accident.
I gave her 7 years because I think she's going to beat up herself for the rest of her life.
We're obviously not condoning criminal activity, but maybe as a fun thought experiment, you can always take a good hard look at yourself in the mirror and decide whether you think a jury would think you're hot or not.
Your attractiveness means you are nice. It means you are smart. It means you are trustworthy. And it even means you are good, even if you're not. What a racket. Such is the power of beauty.
Number 3, old people smell is real. We've all heard of old people smell, but is this a real phenomenon or is it something we imagine?
It's like, I want to say like a garage.
Turns out that in fact it's very real.
Take a good establishing whiff.
Ew. The participants did a sniff test, smelling freshly showered groups of both young and old people.
Oh, you have a scent.
What's the scent?
The scent is oldness.
Okay.
No offense.
At first, a little over half of the 100 humans were able to correctly guess which group they were smelling. But after some body odor was worked up, the results were dramatic, with the vast majority of participants being able to correctly identify who was older and who was younger. Number 2, music affects our sense of taste. In the same episode, more senses were put to the test: taste and sound. The 100 humans were served a variety of food and drinks and played different types of music while they were eating.
Research shows that low notes can make food taste more bitter. So Group 1's meal is accompanied by tuba music.
There were 3 different groups. One listened to the sound of tubas, one to piccolos, and one to silence via mimes as a control.
Caramely flavor, like a touch of caramel, just like a little bit.
It turns out that what we're hearing while we eat really does affect taste because the group listening to the piccolos, which played higher notes, rated their food higher than the one listening to the tubas, which played lower notes.
Could it be the natural taste of chocolate? Or are the low notes taking this to another level?
That was sweet, that was brown colored chocolate.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, sleep can improve your memory.
But the 40s and 60s are clearly struggling with their short-term memory.
In the second episode, the humans were given a challenge to test their memories. They had to memorize a grocery list while dealing with a series of obstacles.
As the items on the list pile up, the distractions are getting more intense, and frankly, kind of weird.
They were divided by age group, and while we may have a preconceived notion that the older you get, the worse your memory becomes, this proved to be incorrect in this challenge.
Pretzels, garlic, pineapple, honey, lettuce, butter, like chocolate chips, bananas, bread. I swear.
The oldest age group did not come in last, and the hosts speculated that it was because they got more sleep than some of their younger opponents. Keep this in mind next time you're tempted to stay up all night cramming for that big exam. It might be better to get your beauty sleep instead.
As you sleep, your brain consolidates memories, making stronger connections and lodging those suckers deep in your brain. Even napping has been shown to help the memory.
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.